So quick introductions and logistics. First of all, thanks for attending. Your phones should be muted. I'm not expecting any interruptions. They should have been taken care of already. And if there's any questions, you're welcome to type them in and we'll answer them during the presentation. My name is Mark Plensky and I have over 15 years of experience listening to customers and developing solutions. This has been primarily in SAP, where I configured the system and I wrote programs in ABAP in different languages. And I just joined CPS this year, in January this year, and I've worked with Winshuttle Studio and Composer with a variety of customers across several different industries. So regarding today's web tips, this is a common scenario that's been looking for a solution. And it's one of those tools that if you don't know, it's going to be very, very powerful. And so I'm hoping after this, you'll be able to use it going forward to solve this particular problem. At CPS, our goal is to transform data, and this includes reducing, if not fully eliminating, unnecessary steps in the work processes. This common scenario that I'm talking about, we've been tasked several times to overcome. It's where a company has a manual process that involves sharing a document of some sort with either a team or a particular person who's then responsible to store it in a directory. And it was easy to come up with different examples of this. My background in SAP was supporting the HR payroll and to some degree the accounting teams and timekeeping teams. They deal with a lot of different kinds of paperwork, so it was easy to come up with scenarios. Examples would be an employee needs to provide a receipt for a purchase that they made that needs to go to accounting. An employee needs to provide a doctor's notice for missed work, and this needs to be shared with the timekeeping or payroll team. There's somebody in the work process that needs a PDF attachment before the process can continue. A Word document needs to be shared and made available for the entire group that's involved in the workflow process. Or owners of a process need to see a document with signatures before they can approve the work. And then thinking of my own life at a previous company, I had jury duty. And so I was gone for an entire week. And at the end of that period, the court issues a document, a signed document showing that, stating that you were, doing jury duty, and they provide the dates and the time. And then I had to take that form and I had to go find a directory in the HR section of our portal. And I had to download another document. I had to fill it out with the dates and times. And then, after printing it out, I had to take these two documents and I had to take it to the HR team and hand it to them. And then they scanned it and uploaded it to a directory for audit purposes so that if, there's ever a question about my hours or my time, they had it all recorded. But just thinking of that, what a waste of time. I mean, I had to take these documents, I had to print them out, fill them out, and then hand them in, and then they had to scan them back in and then move it. This process we're going to go through today just eliminates that and makes it super easy. So why is a digital solution helpful? In the past, employees might email a document and never hear back if it was received. Others might print out a form and drop in unannounced and drop it off in person. So you might, the example I shared, might take it to the HR team and say, hey, here's the document, interrupting anything that they're doing. Others might print it out and send it using inter-office mail. Again, there's extra time and expense with that process. And so problems with these approaches. Senders might not know if the document was received. Important documents can be lost, misplaced, or forgotten. That you might hear, I sent it, didn't you see it? The recipient might need to follow up to make sure the document is being sent in a timely manner. So HR team might have reached out to me and said, hey, where's the court issued document? We need that. And teams can be interrupted by people dropping documents off in person, then required to scan it and file it electronically. So Composer provides an easy to configure plugin that captures uploaded documents and moves them to designated directories. Makes it super simple for us. So the purpose of this plugin is it can be placed in the workflow. It can capture documents that have been uploaded by the user and then move to a designated directory. It's very easy and a very powerful tool. The goals of this is simple. Plugin will be to ensure documentation is properly captured and moved to the proper location, reducing the need for team members to follow up with one another. This will save time and standardize how the process happens. Let's review the necessary steps to configure the plugin. So here we go. 3 steps to this process, right? We are going to create the upload in the form. Then we are going to configure the plugin and do a simple test to prove that it's working. The outcome of this week will be, we'll grab the element over here, the attachment, and once it's added to Composer, it's going to look like this, allowing people to upload that. If you haven't used this, it's awesome. And then after we've done that, we will work on the workflow to get that working. So let's hop over here to my example. So sorry, this is such a simple example, but imagine that this is part of a larger workflow. And this would be a form that could be sent to somebody to, either upload their PTO request or, whatever document. So this is just part of it. And I'm hoping you use your imagination and can see that this is part of a bigger picture. What we have here is we have the elements over here, and this is a simple attachment. You just have to, drag that over, click it, and set it up. Very, very easy. And there's not a lot to this. It works automatically. It's a fantastic little tool that Winshuttle's put together for us. You can allow the user to, delete them, replace them, or upload them. Obviously, we want them to upload. And then later in the process, you might want to consider whether you want people to delete. Once somebody's uploaded it and then it's been, the workflow might take it and send it along to multiple people. You don't want users to later delete the document because it would disappear. So it's just something to consider when building this is who's going to upload it and who can delete it. You do want the delete process for the originator, obviously, because they might grab the wrong document. And you want them to be able to delete that document and correct themselves and fix it. So very easy to add this element to the form. And then the workflow is super easy as well. In this case, again, at CPS, we deal with some extremely complex workflows. Take up tons of pages and just a massive workflow that has a whole lot of steps to it. In this case, I've just created a very simple one. We're just having someone upload it and then we want it to go to the proper directory. So you just grab in the plugin action. And when we check this one out, all you have to do is choose the copy attachments. So in the last form, we allowed users the element to upload documents. And then here we are going to copy those attachments. And if we look in the plugin parameters, we can see that we're going to list, in this case, a SharePoint site with the list where the folder where it'll be going, and then the binding. And that example upload is the one that I named here previously. So very, very simple here. And some examples here of testing it. Again, pretend this is a beautiful looking form and part of a process where we need somebody to upload something. Just works like any upload that we would have. And I'm just going to grab some logs here and include that. And you can see because I allowed them to delete it as one of the steps, if they needed to, they could get rid of it there. And I've just added something to add document. Sending documentation about computer problems. So this is going to the IT team and they need to get this. Once you save and route this, we're going to go over and we're going to see that in the WEBtips practice folder here, this can take up to a couple minutes for the plugin to actually run, but it just gets sent across here and moved over to the directory that I had specified. Again, this is the WEBtips practice folder. WEBtips practice folder here, the list. And 5 minutes ago. So it updates it there. With this directory could be like a storage area for like the HR team or the accounting team, where these documents would just be out there for whoever has access to them. They can go out there whenever they want to check things out. It's super useful for like auditing purposes. If you know, you're expecting an upcoming audit, and you can just go out to those directories and see that the uploads have happened and the forms are out here. This is super easy to configure and set up, and it works great. And it eliminates so many steps, so many wasted steps in the process. You just don't need people to take documents, scan them, upload them, and then manually move them anymore. Just use this plugin. And I imagine if I could assign homework to people that were on this call, I would assign you to look at your day, week, month. How many times are you interrupted with things that you have to move from here to there, or you know, somebody emails you something, or just drop something at your desk? And why aren't we doing that through Composer? Why isn't this digital? Because this really does empower the employee to handle something for themselves, and eliminates just needless time for you to do basically wasted time, wasted steps. So let's see here, there's a question. Can user upload more than one file? Okay. This handy dandy element here is super easy and wonderful, and it's all coded for you. You can absolutely just upload whatever you want. And then because we have the delete process, you could remove whichever, you know, suppose I accidentally grab too many. It's very easy just to, you know, remove the unnecessary ones. So absolutely, you can upload more than one file. Other question. So can you prevent certain types of documents from being moved? Yes, we can add some JavaScript rules to prevent the types of documents that would be uploaded. That is more advanced, but it is absolutely possible, and it's something that I know that we've done at other customers before. Yeah, let's see here. Can the attached documents be viewed in the forms later? Absolutely. So if this was part of the workflow and it was going to say my manager, they could absolutely just click on these and download them and read them and see what the documents were that I uploaded to verify that within the form that it's the proper documentation. We'll go back to this here and advance. Again, this is the configure part, very easy. Just put the plug in there, click on that, and list out the directory. One other thing to note about that is when I was in here, I created a site for the folder, which was the list, and then the binding. You can absolutely play around with this and see that you can do directories, you can list folders. There's a pretty good variety of ways to get the data to where you need it to be. So works very well. And again, how to move a document from upload to the specified directory with the test portion of this is just that you'll see that the documents get moved to the proper folder. In this case, the SharePoint list. It did indeed get moved there fairly quickly. Works great. So in my opinion, this is considered success. We've quickly set up a workflow process. And again, this is a simple example, but can be added to very complex procedures where you need a particular person at a certain step in the workflow just to add a document. And there can be rules placed around it to prevent a workflow to continue until that documentation's been uploaded. This can all just be automated. I mean, you could even add reminders and things like that if people aren't, if their step is taking too long and they're not getting on it. And by doing that, it reduces the need for an employee in a company to follow up with other people, which is just a waste of time and it's frustrating. So we can take that uploaded document and we can copy it to a SharePoint directory for later use. This can be done to reduce email, ensures the documentation is uploaded, and it standardizes the process. If incorporated into a process, you should expect a reduction in missing documents, hopefully fewer surprise visits that interrupt teams, thinking of the payroll team, timekeeping, HR, accounting, supply chain, master data teams. It just reduces people, surprise, I have these documents for you. And regardless of what you're working on, all of a sudden you have a stack of papers that you need to do something with. It's nearly 2020. We need to eliminate that from people's day-to-day. Just let Composer handle that for you. Automatic email can be set up if needed to alert the user who submitted the document that it was properly received. Sometimes how often have you sent something and wondered, 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, you think, did I really send that? Or did I, where is it? With this, you can set up, people can know that it happened and just follow up from the person, then wouldn't have to contact you and say, hey, did you get that document? Because at that point, it's out of their hands. It's no longer their responsibility. It's been moved on, and Composer and Winshuttle will handle it for you. Let's see, answered a couple of questions. If there's any more questions, you're welcome to send them, and I'll do what I can to answer them. In the meantime, we'll follow up with the last little bit of information here. CPS, we are experts at what we do, and we love to take complex problems and simplify them, reducing workload and wasted time. So if you have any problems, reach out to us. Let us talk through the issue with you and see if we can't come up with solutions that will improve employee performance and just reduce wasted time and frustration. It's what we do every day with different companies, and we can certainly help you. And here's our information in case you have questions or comments or want to reach out to us. Again, if you have ideas for future web tips, we are all ears, and we would love to get some ideas on what customers are looking for and put together web tips in the future to help solve that problem. At this point, I'd just like to thank you for your time and attendance, and hope that you can find reasons to use these plugins. And again, I've seen it across multiple companies already in my 11 months here, that it just reduces work and it ensures that the process is standardized. It's a great little plugin. So I encourage everyone to use it and find reasons to use it. So your homework is to consider your work. The next time you are given a piece of paper that you have to scan, you need to say to yourself, it is 2019, almost 2020. I shouldn't be doing this anymore. And the tool is here to remove those kind of problems from your life. So use them. Anyway, thanks a lot, and I appreciate everyone that attended.